Zach Life beat depression. It's day 879 and I'm feeling fine. And today we're going to keep it that way with another somatic healing session to wipe out depression. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here now. Anyone who's tuning in later, appreciate you guys and girls out there. I know you know it's a martial arts for mental health show, and every day we start out with that powerful mental health tool of gratitude. Today is day 18, I hope. I think I'm right. It's either 17 or 18. It's hard to keep track of all these numbers, but I believe it's day 18 of our Hope to Courage 21 Days of Gratitude movement out here, focusing in on that bridge of gratitude that helps us move out of fear, away from that victim mindset, and empower ourselves to focus on those positive things, those silver linings, the things we can look forward to, the things we can be grateful for in life. That powerful mental health tool of gratitude. So, starting off today, my gratitude section is going out to Lisa the Luminary for being the first one here, and also to the team out there at Hope to Courage for helping share multiple free mental health tools in this 21-day of gratitude campaign. Can't be more grateful for them. And that's where I'm going to end my gratitude section for today. Go ahead and think about your gratitude section. That'll help put you in that positive mindset as we move into the lesson. Second mental health tool we always talk about, very important one that can also have a compounding effect in your life, is that progress tracking tool. It's been 879 days of consecutive progress and success for me, the Zach Man. Let me know how many days it's been for you. The more you keep track of that number, the more powerful you will become. The more capable you'll become of recognizing your strength and endurance out here, especially if you're dealing with this life-threatening disease such as depression or anxiety. We know from a fact that depression takes lives. It leads to suicidal ideation, which leads to suicide, and it was an epidemic before the pandemic, and now it's been even more exacerbated by the current situation of things. So anything that we can do to take us out of that victim mindset that depression tries to sell us, anything that we can do to unbalance that imbalance of serotonin in the brain that comes from depression, is a good thing. And it's something that we need to focus in on and make use of and add to our toolkit, whatever those tools are that work for us, right? There's a lot of different tools out there. So that progress tracking tool is one that you can use that will have that compounding effect, just like that gratitude tool. And the more you keep track of it, the more powerful it will become, the more powerful it can become in your life. So please do keep track of it for you. This number not only allows you to know how far you've come, but allows you to know how far you can look forward to continue going, because you have that proof of endurance. You have that proof that you survived 100% of your bad days, 879 days in a row, or however many days you've been keeping track of in a row. And not only did you survive them, but you fought forwards. You overcome that debilitation, you overcame those lies, and making progress out here. And that's what it's about. Progress is success. So please do keep track of your number. Share it if you got one. And in that way, you can help motivate and inspire others in their fight forwards. That being said, we're going to talk about the lesson. As we covered our two tools, the lesson today is going to be based on kicks, but it is a low-intensity active recovery session known as Water Flow Wednesday, where we give ourselves a break from that high stress, those high-intensity sessions that we do every day out here. And we focus in on another powerful tool, the tool of breath work, diaphragmatic breathing specifically. So we're going to focus in on that tool and show you what it can do for your heart rate, for your nervous system first, even without movement. And then we're going to link it into movement and practice some martial arts techniques linked in with that breath work tool to give ourselves that active recovery that we deserve. So first and foremost, make sure you've got water, because breath work tools alone can dehydrate you. Movement alone can dehydrate you. And it's super important to stay hydrated out there. That way you can keep fighting forwards and keep growing more powerful every day. So let's talk about the breathwork tool first. Starting with the hands, place one hand over the chest, one hand over the belly. Take a deep breath in through the nose, filling the belly with air, keeping the chest nice and flat. Hold on to it for a moment, and then long and slow exhale out of the mouth. We want to breathe in through the nose to the belly and exhale long and slow out the mouth. Let's try it together. This is diaphragmatic breathing. Most people are breathing wrong out there, by the way, in case you don't know. Most people are breathing with their chest, which activates that higher anxiety, that nervous system function, not breathing with the belly. When we breathe with the belly, we calm the nervous system, and we're able to think clearly, take out that anxious energy, slow the heart rate, and give ourselves that break from stress. So let's practice it together. Deep breath through the nose to the belly. Filling that belly with air. Hold on to it for a moment. And long and slow exhale through pursed lips. Nice and easy out the mouth. And it's as simple as that. There's a few ways you can make this more and more effective as you learn and grow with this tool. One of them is closing your eyes and visualizing that breath. Another one is making sure you have resistance in the mouth when you're breathing out. That's going to put a little more activation on that diaphragmatic breathing muscle. And another one is making sure that that exhale is twice as long as the inhale. That's going to make sure you're nailing that routine, nailing that the use of that tool, and you're giving yourself those positive effects. Shout out to Accept Your Anxiety and K-Mom. Muhammad, thank you for being here. Appreciate the support. Let's continue with that breathwork tool and tune it up just a little bit more by visualizing that breath, making sure it enters in the nose, chest stays nice and flat, and we fill that belly with air. Let's do breathe in nice and slow. Hold on to it. And long and slow exhale through pursed lips. You might already feel it bringing that energy level down, bringing that anxious energy down, slowing the heart rate, and giving you this sense of calm and peace. Now we're going to link that tool, that powerful breathwork tool, in with movement to make it even more powerful. And we're going to practice some more of our martial arts technique. You guys, if you've been following along in the 21 Days of Gratitude movement, you've been equipped with hand striking techniques, elbow striking techniques, knee striking techniques, and now we're into the kicks. We covered the push kick, rear push, rear teep. We covered the roundhouse kick yesterday, boom, to body mass, the center mass. And today we're going to cover the switch round. But we're going to do it nice and slow in that low intensity setting. So the way we're going to make sure that we keep our bodies in check, keep our minds in check, keep our nervous system in check, is by really focusing in on that breathwork tool and letting the breath be your guide to the pace as you flow through this session today. Shout out to Slayer Ken. Thanks for being here, buddy. Appreciate you. Appreciate your consistency. All right, so starting with that breathwork tool, the way we're going to use this tool and link it in with our movement is when we take the deep breath into the belly, we're going to assume our defensive stance. Right, our defensive Muay Thai stance. We've got the breath held in the belly. And on the exhale, we're going to move forwards through our striking technique. Nice and slow, nice and fluid. Thinking about balance, thinking about form, staying nice and centered, and moving along with the breath, right? Moving slow with the pace of that breath. Now let's talk about the new kick that we're going to learn for today. It's kind of an activated one, but we can still do it in slow motion, and that'll help build that muscle memory. We just got to keep it under control. So for the kicks, I want you guys to stick to just one kick. For the other striking patterns with hands or elbows, you can link up to 3 different strikes in your creative combos as you go, but try not to go past 3 because that's going to further activate that nervous system, and we're going to start to pick up the pace a little too fast to keep it low intensity focused. So make sure you're not going past 3 strikes total, and if you're doing just kicks, stick with 1 kick for now. Move nice and slow. Let's work balance and muscle memory. So talking about the kick we're going to learn today, we practiced that roundhouse kick yesterday, right? Stepping off the line, tossing through center mass, back into our balanced stance. Today we're going to practice the switch roundhouse kick. And the reason why we want to add a switch to our roundhouse from the opposite side is because if you just try to toss the roundhouse from here, it'll work, but it's not going to be very powerful. The way that we're going to add power and effectiveness to that roundhouse kick on the lead leg, just like we did with the knee strike from that lead leg, is by adding in a quick switch of the feet. So what we're going to do here is just swap the feet, and then we're going to do the same movement that we did for the opposite leg. Our lead leg has now become our rear leg, right? Our hips down are in southpaw position. We're going to reach across the head of our opponent with that hand on the same side of the leg that's kicking. We're going to chop that hand diagonally across this way as we roll that hip over, and we toss that rear leg right through that center mass of the opponent. And again, a big part of it is going to be the hip rotation. You want to make sure that you're rotating those hips over so that your angle of your shin changes and we can make contact on that shin, not on the foot, not on the side of the leg or the calf knee. Right? If we don't throw the hip rotation in there, then it's going to look like this. That's more of a crescent kick. it's not going to be as effective. It's not a Muay Thai kick. It's not a good kick to have that follow through with. It can leave you in a vulnerable position. But if we're practicing Muay Thai, which is known as the most effective striking system in the world, and for good reason, we're going to want to have that hip roll in there so that we can change the angle of the leg and make sure that we're contacting on the shin and chopping through our opponent, through that visualized target. So let's practice it together. Deep breath in to your defensive stance, an orthodox position. Holding that breath in the belly. Now on the exhale, we're going to swap the feet. Shh. And as we continue to exhale, reach that hand across the head of the opponent, right? Diagonally. And we're going to toss that leg. Toss that leg over and around. I want you to think about turning the hip and sending that leg over and around and through your opponent. You've got to make sure, again, too, that we're in proper Muay Thai stance and the weight is on the ball of the foot, not flat-footed. Otherwise, you run the risk of twisting an ankle. So you want to make sure that your knees are slightly bent and the weight is on the ball of that foot. And like we said, we're going to start from orthodox. We're going to swap the feet. When we swap the feet, we're going to reach across the face. Make sure that hip is opened up on the lead leg or on the ball of the foot. And then we're going to toss. We're going to toss that hip over. Toss it over and let it roll all the way through as we chop the arm in the opposite direction. Let's put it back together one more time from our orthodox stance without the breath work at this point. We're swapping the feet. We're reaching across the face of that opponent, that visualized target, and we're throwing this leg up and over, making sure to roll the hip over, boom, so we can get that proper angle. And when we're cutting through, you can visualize chopping through that opponent, cutting straight through him. What we want to do with the hand is chop the hand in the opposite direction and kind of use it like a scissoring motion here between the hand and the leg. So we swap the feet, we're on the ball of that lead foot, opened up, right? We're going to reach across and we're going to scissor across that hand and leg at the same time, like you're slicing through your opponent, just chopping them in half with those two limbs, making sure the hip is rolled, little bend in the knee, and you're chopping right through. Rotating on the ball of the opposite foot all the way back around to southpaw stance. That's the breakdown for the switch roundhouse kick. It is a complicated move with a lot of moving parts, so don't worry if you don't get it right away. Take it slow, go at your pace, and if you don't have the room to spin all the way around for that full rotation, and you don't have the balance yet, just practice the switch, and then turning that hip over, right? Turning that hip over and syncing up with the arm. You don't have to follow all the way through with it. If you're just beginning, we just want to focus on balance and building that muscle memory. So one more time, from orthodox Muay Thai stance, we swap the feet, we reach across the face, guard stays high on the opposite side, and we're going to toss that hip up and over. Just practice turning that hip over and rolling through, boom, so that you can get that muscle memory in there and start to develop that switch kick on the lead leg. Shout out to Tiny Angel. Thanks for being here as well. So that is going to be it. We're going to use all the tools that we've had over the past 17 or 18 days, however many it is today. Kind of lost track on that. Too many numbers to keep track of. And we're going to have a 10-minute straight through session. It's based on you. You got to tune into you. You got to check in with yourself and make sure you're keeping it low intensity by using that breathwork tool. So whenever you're feeling like the intensity is picking up too much in your striking pattern or your movement, return back to a neutral stance, return back to the power of the breath, and calm that heart rate, calm that nervous system. Do it for you. We're not here to compete with each other or try to keep up with each other's pace. We're here to set our own pace so that we can compete with ourselves and continue to grow each and every day. Even in this low intensity environment, we've got to stay in tune with what we need in a given moment based on our current situation. That's how we find our flow. That's how we continue to grow no matter what each and every day. That being said, we'll have some common music coming through the boombox. And we're going to get right into this session, starting with the breathwork tool in a neutral stance. Get ready for that. Bang, let's go. As always, visualize your target, whatever that may be. If it's the depression dummy or the anxiety dummy, square up with it. And start with that breathwork tool. Into the belly, through the nose. Nice and calm, nice and easy. Fill the belly with air. Hold that breath in the belly and long and slow exhale into your jab cross. Slowly flowing in to proper striking stance and form here. Remember, visualize the target, make contact with the target with the large knuckles. Moving nice and slow. We want to finish the striking pattern at the end of that breath, letting the breath guide us through the movement. Deep inhale back to defensive stance. Holding that breath in the belly, long and slow exhale through jab cross. One exhale. Two movements. We're staying focused, we're staying balanced. We're keeping that heart rate low and the energy calm by using that diaphragmatic breathing tool. Deep breath into defensive stance. Try and sync that movement with the breath, right? Follow the pace of the breath. From here, long exhale through jab cross. Keeping the chin tucked, staying nice and balanced. Turning the fists over, landing on the large two knuckles. And visualize cracking that dummy right in the nose or right in the chin. Deep inhale back, nice and slow. Guard high by the brow line, chin tucked. We're in Muay Thai stance. Nice and easy flow into jab cross. Rotating on the ball of each foot. Now let's return to a neutral stance. Shake the arms out. Shake out the limbs. If you're feeling lactic acid or you're feeling a burn up there, want to keep it low intensity, return to the breath. Use the hands as a guide if you need them. If you don't, put them in a more comfortable position by your side, in your pockets. Casual position here. Return to the power of that breath. Deep breath in through the nose to the belly. Holding it into the belly, you can close eyes and visualize it to make it more effective. Long exhale out the mouth. Taking that control back over the nervous system, keeping it calm and clear. One more time. Deep breath in through the nose to the belly. Hold on to it. Long and slow exhale out the mouth. All right, now we're going to start to activate those kicks. We're going to start to use the roundhouse kick and link it in with that breathwork tool as well. Remember, if you can't follow all the way through and you don't have the balance yet, just step out and bring the hip up and over. Practice turning the hip and chopping through for that roundhouse kick. For the switch roundhouse, same thing. Swap the feet and practice just turning the hip over and exhaling through at a nice slow pace if you can't, if your balance is not there yet. All right, let's do it together. Deep breath into the belly, nice and slow. Assume your defensive Muay Thai stance. Visualize that target, and we're going to go with that switch roundhouse kick we talked about. Long exhale here, swapping the feet, and exhale all the way through. Turn through, swinging that leg through center mass. We're chopping through that opponent. Remember to scissor the arms, right? And we're moving nice and slow, following that exhale. Now, when you get back to this neutral position, you might, after one kick, that might have exhausted you a little bit. You want to return to the breath, keep the heart rate slow, keep using that diaphragmatic breathing tool to calm the nervous system. We don't want to get carried away with the striking. Deep breath in through the nose to the belly. Hold on to it. Long exhale through pursed lips. And again, assume your defensive stance. Deep breath into the belly. I'm not going to pause this time. We're going to go deep breath into the belly. Then we're going to exhale through the switch and that roundhouse kick. That switch roundhouse kick. So one long exhale there, two movements. Swap of the feet and then the chop through for the roundhouse kick. Let's do it together. Deep breath into defensive stance. Long exhale through switch kick. And you're landing back in southpaw position. Tucking the chin is going to help with defense here. It's going to help with balance in your stance. And we're going to stay in southpaw stance when we land that switch kick. Remember, we put the switch in there at the beginning, boom, out of orthodox into southpaw. When we land, we're going to land back in southpaw stance after the switch kick. So, starting in orthodox position, deep breath into the belly. Defensive stance, nice and tight. Long exhale through switch kick. And back to our neutral stance. When we're chopping through again, we're scissoring through the leg, right? Scissoring the arm and the leg right through that opponent. We're going to use it kind of like a targeting tool. Reach across the head, setting up our line of fire, and then chopping through here as the leg passes through that opponent, and we rotate all the way around. Back to stance. Always check in on you. Return to the breath if you need to. Calm that nervous system. Deep breath in through the nose to the belly. Chest stays flat the whole time. Long exhale out the mouth. And again, work that switch. Start to get creative with it. Make it your own. And work those other combos in there as well. I'm going to stick with the switch just a little bit here to improve my balance. Deep breath into the belly. Long exhale through switch kick. Boom, back to stance. Nice and slow, flowing through. Rotating the ball of that lead foot in southpaw position. You want to make sure the knees are bent. That'll keep the heel raised and make it easy to rotate through those techniques. Deep breath into the belly. Long exhale through switch kick. Ooh, I'm already in southpaw. Let's go back to orthodox. Lost my place there. Deep breath into the belly. Long exhale through switch kick. Boom. Back to stance and back to orthodox position. Just step back into orthodox position. So after that switch kick, you can land back here in southpaw, or you can bring it all the way around, kind of stepping forwards, covering some ground, and putting yourself back in orthodox position. Your choice. Remember, make it your own. And if you're feeling that activated feeling, let's calm it down with that powerful breathwork tool. Deep breath into the belly, nice and slow through the nose. Hold on to it. Long exhale out the mouth. Give yourself what you need. Keep that heart rate low. This is active recovery. Deep breath in again, nice and slow through the nose to the belly. Hold on to it. Long and slow exhale out the mouth. Starting in orthodox, let's work that switch kick some more. Deep breath into the belly. Long exhale through switch kick. Boom, back to stance. Try to keep that opposite hand too high with the high guard. Don't drop that hand when you're flowing through that roundhouse kick. Deep breath into the belly in orthodox stance. Long exhale through switch kick. Boom, back to stance, guard tight. Deep breath in the belly, long exhale through switch kick. Back to stance. Deep breath in the belly, long exhale through switch kick. Boom, oi. Don't lose your balance, but if you do, don't worry about it. Just return to that neutral stance. Let's keep the breath. Return to the breath. Keep that intensity low so don't get carried away with the striking. Deep breath in through the nose to the belly. Hold on to it. Long exhale out the mouth. Deep breath in through the nose to the belly. Hold on to it. Long exhale out the mouth. Now get creative and flow with that breathwork tool. Make it your own. Deep breath into the belly in defensive stance. Long exhale through your creative striking routine. 3 strikes total, nice and easy. Deep breath into defense. Guard tight, long exhale through striking patterns. Fully exhale there. Deep inhale back. Make it your own, use the tools you enjoy. Long exhale forward. It can be a single strike. It can be multiple strikes. We're just trying to limit it to 3. And if you're using kicks, single kick there. It's a big movement. Takes a lot. We want to keep that intensity low. Deep breath into the belly. Long exhale into your striking pattern. Deep breath back. Long exhale forward. Fully exhale there. Deep breath into the belly. Long exhale through strike. Fully exhale and return to the breath. Deep breath into the belly. Flow into it. Long exhale forward. And that is the end of round 1. It was one long round. It's the end of our water flow Wednesday session. Hopefully you guys and girls did not get carried away with those striking patterns. You kept the intensity low so that you can get that active recovery. If you didn't, let's make sure that we give ourselves that break we deserve and return to the breathwork tool alone. Hand over the chest, making sure the chest doesn't move. One hand over the belly, deep breath into the belly and hold for a moment. Long and slow exhale through pursed lips. Close the eyes and visualize that breath. Let's make it more effective. Deep breath in through the nose to the belly. Hold on to it. Long, slow exhale out the mouth. 4-second inhale this time to the belly. Hold for 7. Exhale for 8. Hold. Eight-second exhale. One more time. Eight-second exhale. All right. If you're nailing those tools out there, you should be feeling the same thing I'm feeling, which is that sense of calm wash over your body. That sense of relaxation when your nervous system de-escalates and that heart rate slows down. You can give yourself this peace at any time, no matter what you're physically going through, no matter if you're dealing with a stressful situation, or you're going through problems or challenges, and you're dealing with that high heart rate, that high anxious energy. You can return to the power of that breath. Tap into those different levels of tools. Climb that ladder, right? Start with diaphragmic breath. Add in visualization, turn it into the 4-7-8, it's a proven method, and take that power back over your automatic nervous system. You can be in control now. If you're feeling those benefits the same way that I'm feeling, let the world know. That's one of the best ways that we can help each other and be that change that we want to see out here. Until next time, I want to thank If I Can Sparkman and Ethereal Sportswear. Thanks so much for joining, and everybody else who's been tuning in and supporting the cause. Until next time, I'll catch you same sack time, same sack channel, same sack life. Sack man out.